Sanctuary, are you ready to take your Diablo 2 Resurrected experience to the next level? As another season gets ready to kick off, I'm thrilled to highlight a game-changing tool that promises to revolutionize your loot hunting adventures. Nishi's Diablo 2 Resurrected Drop Calculator. Now, this isn't just your any run-of-the-mill utility. It is a meticulously designed masterpiece that aims to optimize your loot acquisition strategy. Stay a while and listen as I delve into some of the features and functionality that set Nishi's Drop Calculator apart from the field and make it the gold standard of all Diablo 2 loot tools. First, let's kick off with some general navigation of the inputs. Everything operates on a slider system that enables you to quickly select your magic find levels, setting your player count in addition to players in group, and if you are doing a terrorized zone, all you have to simply do is move the slider to the right and set your appropriate base character level. Then he also includes item level sliders, so if you want to set minimum item levels or restrict maximum item levels, this gives you an idea to target and determine how early and where you can find an item. Now, one of the new features he rolled out was being able to actually run this on particular areas in addition to the entire spectrum, and you can click these green buttons here to toggle off or on the particular difficulty. Lastly, he has implemented a great color coding system by monster type, red being for boss, purple for super unique, gold for uniques, blue for champions, and white for trash mobs. As always, all drop calculators, including Nishi's, are directional proxies that take computational averages. And while I believe that Nishi's is one of the more accurate in the market, drop data is never guaranteed, as RNG is RNG. The first primary differentiator is a critical function that nearly every drop calculator gets wrong: how to properly treasure class upgrade when zones are terrorized. Let me show you a quick example. If we look at the summoner in a non-terrorized situation, he is not able to drop a griffin. Base treasure class is summoner H, which only pulls down from weapon and armor 72. But let's say there is a terrorized situation in Arcane now where your base character level is upgraded up to 91 and our magic find is 200, and now we re-roll the calculator. You are now going to see for the first time that the summoner, in addition to many of the other elite and white packs, actually show up, which is denoted here by the T. You can see that Nishi's tool is actually doing the proper treasure class upgrading, which now makes him summoner H desecrated F, which enables him to actually pull down from the TC 87 plus treasure class. As I noted, all other drop calculators are not remotely upgrading even when you enable TZs. One of my favorite features is that you can analyze the complete scope of data on how and where to find items by area, not just monster type. Like the previous function, nearly all drop calculators primarily trigger on monster type versus area selection. Let's take a look at hunting the coveted Shaco. One of the best ways to identify how and where to acquire items in Diablo is to see the granular full spectrum of information across all difficulties, areas, and monsters, and oh boy does Nishi's calculator deliver. If we assume 200% magic find, players 1 and non-terrorized, we can easily digest this information for the Harlequin Crest coveted Shaco to understand where do I target farm and what monsters do I have to attack. As you can easily see here, he brackets by normal, nightmare, and hell, representative by the different lettering. If he was terrorized, you would see a T show up. And as before, you can filter these on and off. You can hover over both monsters and areas for tooltip information. But one of my favorite features is something he actually rolled out recently, which makes this very dynamic. For example, if you were very curious, who is Creeping Feature and who is Dark Elder as a super unique and where are they? If we were to click into Dark Elder, you're going to see that this now dynamically updates and it's showing us that, hey, Dark Elder is a super unique pack located in Lost City Hell. Again, you can see the area level information. In addition to Dark Elder, you can see all of the other whites and elites, showcasing it's not just Dark Elder in Lost City that can actually drop Shaco. It is all of these different packs. This is an amazing, slick feature. Thank you, Nishi. Keeping with this theme but adjusting to Nightwing, you may have noticed that Nishi includes the concept of packs versus individual monsters. You will see in this particular case that Elite Packs and Chaos Sanctuary, it is calculating the average chance of clearing all packs versus individual. You can specifically hover over this line to get additional tooltip information. Now, this logically makes sense because if in an average basis, if you were to clear the entire pack, you would have a 1 in 17,000 chance to drop a Nightwing. versus if you killed only one in that pack of an Oblivion Knight, you'd only have a 1 in 54,000 chance. As most know, there are min and max group fields in Diablo where champs can spawn in 2 to 4, and uniques have minions spawning 3 to 6. Thus, Nishi simply takes the average of these values when calculating pack chance. Very neat, Nishi. What's equally as important as endorsing Nishi's tool, remembering to hit that like and subscribe button on this video so I can continue to bring high quality videos like this to life. Don't forget, you also get a guaranteed 50% passive magic find buff. Another feature and function that is absent from other drop calculators is the ability to multi-select items to create OR intersections to demonstrate the holistic chance to find at least one copy of the selected item. Looking at non-pelt and non-primals, the 3 earliest helms to acquire that are capable of rolling 3 sockets are Great Helm, Crown, and Mask. Notably, for them to roll 3 sockets, either dropped, cubed, or at Larzik, they have to be at minimum item level 41 or greater, meaning the monsters you are slaying must be 41 or higher. If we were to toggle over the minimum item level to 41 and specifically rerun the calculator, you are now going to see all the different areas and difficulties by which these have a chance to drop. Now, what this data is essentially showing you in this particular case on the left is that, for example, for the Secret Cow level in Nightmare, on average, if you were to complete at least 2 whole clears, you should on a directional basis be able to find at least 1 copy of a Great Helm, Crown, or Mask that either drops with or without sockets. Now, there is an additional quality of life feature here that he rolled out in the form of the area selector. We know for a fact that at tower level 4, it's the first area in Nightmare that meets the item area level requirements, which is why you can see here that this is monster level 41, in addition to all of the different types of packs that can be rolled. Now, we do know specifically because of the +2 and +3 monster level modifiers for elites, you may actually be able to do this earlier. Let's downshift to tower level 2. You're going to notice here that actually this is linked to the blue color, which maps the champions. And if you hover over this and look at the tooltip, you're going to see that this is area level 39. Thus, you have to slay champions or better in order to ensure that the item meets 41 and thus can be rolled with 3 sockets. Now, you may be wondering for this champ pack, how is that possible? Because champs normally can't actually drop white items. This is because there are a particular type of champion packs in particular that actually do absorb on the minion side a baseline treasure class, which actually operates differently than the elite, so they actually would be able to drop in this particular case. And same thing for unique packs. The minions of the unique absorb the base TC, so they are also in this case eligible to drop one of the copies to yield 3 sockets. Bringing us home on the compelling functionality is his keyword query and search functions, which have some very quirky shortcuts. For example, instead of specifically searching for an individual rune, there's actually a trick to type miscellaneous rune, for example, that will pull up every single rune in the game, which allows you to particularly bulk edit select all or 1 by 1. Now, let's say in the same vein, you wanted to specifically find only elite uniques. If I was to type in elite unique, you can see automatic adaptive querying, as this is pulling in all of the only elite uniques in the game. Now, let's say intuitively you want to do the same thing for exceptional unique, or let's say we wanted to look at exceptional sets. You can see just how great and dynamic this calculator is, which saves you a ton of time as you think about how to particularly hunt and find your items at scale. Nishi, you indeed are the gift that keeps on giving. One vital element of any tool is the frequency in which it's upkept and updated, whether there's past changes in a game or just different intuitive and innovative ways to represent and visualize information. Fortunately for us and the community, Nishi is doing just that as he continues to polish and fine-tune his tool. And I highly encourage all of you of Sanctuary to please drop and leave transparent comments on this video down below, as this can act as a conduit to direct feedback to Nishi, so he can hopefully absorb and take some of your direct feedback to life as he continues to innovate and bring a best-in-class tool to the Diablo 2 world and marketplace. Stay frosty, Sanctuary.